Aaron.
Here.
Why didn't you say it the first time I said Aaron?
Because it's pronounced Aaron.
You done messed up, Aaron.
Aaron is back from vacation. Thanks for joining me, everyone, for some more SPTV. I've never gone a week without uploading, at least not since I started uploading every day about 8 months ago. And I definitely had some withdrawals, that is for sure. We thought maybe my family, the Rinder family, the Headley family, and some other friends we went on a cruise. We went on a cruise on Harmony of the Seas, an Oasis class ship. First time I'd ever been on a ship that big. And we went to St. Thomas, went to St. Martin's. We went to Royal Caribbean's Coco Cay is the little private island. Fantastic. These vacations are really for the kids. Amongst all of us, we have, oh my God, is it 12 or 14 kids? And man, they can just disappear on these ships. So many kids. I think it was like 2,000 kids actually on this ship. And anyway, it was a great week. I don't know. This is probably as red as you're going to see me. I think I'm only going to get less red from this point on. And by the way, guys, I will, at the end of the video, I'll go through all the super chats. But this video is about David Miscavige. David Miscavige and his minions absolutely losing their mind over a story that Tracy McManus at the Tampa Bay Times is working on. And, Miscavige is really becoming more and more unhinged when his henchmen write letters like the one I'm about to share with you in this video. This is really something. So, all of these Scientology media PR spokespeople, they really do not even have the authority to write any of these letters just on their own determinism, their own volition. These people are literally just mouthpieces and puppets for David Miscavige. David Miscavige just writes the letter. He signs their name to the letter. These guys are not allowed to do anything on their own. So let's see what kind of hilariousness they have put to paper now. Okay, Church of Scientology Flag Service Organization, Office of Public Affairs, March 15th. What is today? Today is the 18th. Okay, so this is pretty new. Regarding further propaganda to the city of Clearwater. Dear Tracy, on March 3rd, I wrote to you. I'm going to try to highlight as I go. On March 3rd, I wrote to you. Okay, so who's I? Let's just jump right to the end here. I is allegedly Ben Shaw. He doesn't even, who does he think he is? He doesn't even write his last name. Ben Shaw. Okay, so this is Ben Shaw. He's one of the media PR people at the Flag Land Base. And here, I'll switch views real quick because I want to tell you a funny story. I was chatting with Tracy McManus many months ago. It might have even been 6 months ago. And it was something to do with Ben Shaw. I can't remember what the conversation was about specifically. And I said, I think she was referring to the fact that Scientology, like its media people, don't actually talk to the media. And Tracy McManus has been reporting on Scientology for the Tampa Bay Times for, I don't know, it feels like 10 years. It's probably been less, but it feels like 10 years. And I said, Tracy, in all of the years you've been reporting on Scientology in Clearwater, have you ever actually met Ben Shaw? Like, do you know what this guy looks like? Have you ever spoken to the guy? And she goes, I have never met Ben Shaw. She said, one time I was walking down the street in Clearwater and I walked by a guy that I was sure was Ben Shaw. And I said, excuse me, are you Ben Shaw? And he's like, yeah. And she's like, I'm Tracy McManus. And he's like, I gotta go. He ran away. He ran away from Tracy McManus. I'm sure he just walked away, but we'll say he ran. All right. Anyway, back to the show. Okay. On March 3rd, I wrote to you regarding your spreading disinformation to the city. Instead of correcting your false statements, you have continued to spread your fake news propaganda. The city communications director, Joelle Castelli, noted in her media update email of March 6th that the city had been tagged and mentioned in multiple tweets and reactions today and in the last 24 hours from Hate Monitor, a Twitter account with 60,500 followers. So, guys, the Church of Scientology, the international human trafficking cult known as the Church of Scientology, they have like a standing public records request on file with the city where every single week the city has to turn over to Scientology a copy of any communication that occurred between any city staff and between any city staff and anyone else regarding anything to do with Scientology that uses the word Scientology, or even, I swear to God, I kid you not, the words Aaron Smith-Levin or Mike Rinder or Mark Bunker or Mark Headley. I shit you not. The city spends countless hours just keeping track of all of these records so they can turn them over to Scientology every week. So that's kind of the context of what Mr. Ben Shaw here is even referring to. Okay, so by the way, so he mentions don't. It's so funny that they mention Scientology's little sock account on Twitter and how many followers it has. Let me show you guys this this Twitter account. This is Scientology's sock Twitter account for their front group, Stand. Now, the official acronym for Stand is actually TWATS. They're not very good at acronyms. Mark Headley did a whole video explaining how this organization's real acronym is TWATS. Or can I say TWATS? I think I can. We're already 6 minutes into the stream. Okay. Anyway, they've got me blocked. That's how you know they're a legit Scientology sock account. All right, back to the show. Okay, how dare you, Miss McManus, remove all of the CCs. Removing all of the CCs, you emailed malicious falsehoods to Miss Castelli regarding her description of Stand League and Hate Monitor. This is what Tracy said. Hate Monitor is the Twitter handle for Stand League, which is an organization run by the Church of Scientology. This account is used to harass and intimidate critics and journalists. Many of these followers are bots and trolls, not real people, that are created solely to harass journalists and others who accurately report about Scientology. Stand League's use of stock photos and fake accounts to harass have been proven repeatedly. By the way, what Tracy said in this letter is 100% true and accurate. Ben goes, with that, you have again exposed your bigotry. You know, to a hammer, everything is a nail, and to a Scientologist, everything is bigotry. You are not engaged in journalism. You are engaged in spreading propaganda and disinformation. And then Mr. Ben Shaw continues on here. Oh, shit, I forgot to highlight as I went along. Sorry, guys. Okay, Stand was focused to protect freedom of religion, champion equality for all, and to target religious discrimination and hatred. Stand is Scientology's equivalent of the Anti-Defamation League. Scientology can just never not compare themselves to the Jewish people. It's pretty incredible. Okay, Scientology is, Stand is Scientology's equivalent of the ADL, which maintains the same role for Judaism. Yeah, except the ADL doesn't have to create fake Twitter accounts and use stock photos, and you know, like the ADL is staffed by real people. Stand is not. Okay, to call Stand an account to harass and intimidate critics and journalists is akin to calling the ADL an account to harass and intimidate critics and journalists. Mr. Ben Shaw's thinking only seems to go like surface level deep. Not a big thinker over there in Scientology land, Mr. Ben Shaw. Okay, highlighting the next paragraph. The mission of Stand is to end forever the defamation and bigotry towards Scientologists and Scientology, and to protect everyone's inalienable right to practice their chosen faith. Stand encourages anyone who has encountered hate speech or discrimination online, in the media, or in any public venue to take action and report it. Members of Stand are Scientologists and non-Scientologists. Total bullshit. There's no non-Scientologists working at Stand, or there's no one working at Stand. It's not a real organization. It's just it's literally a fake organization created by Scientology. They've assigned some Sea Org members and some public Scientologists who work for the Office of Special Affairs to send angry tweets and pretend to be like an actual organization. I keep forgetting to highlight. Okay, they are not bots, trolls, or fake accounts. They are people, damn it. So while you pretend you are a journalist, you made up a bald-faced lie that real people on Twitter are fake. You are continuing your modus operandi of manufacturing false information. This time you go one step further. After asserting your bald-faced lies, you double down by stating your false claims have been proven repeatedly. Your fabrications about bots, trolls, and fake accounts have not been proven, much less proven repeatedly. They could not be because they are lies. Lies, I say, damn it. This is such a pathetic, silly letter. I mean, I can't believe these guys put these words to paper. But again, they don't. I mean, this is the ramblings and the rantings of David Miscavige, Scientology's elfin leader. Okay, by calling members of Stand bots, you are calling your readers bots. I'm not sure I get the logic in that one, but the only thing proven, and now proven conclusively, is that you are not a journalist. You are a propagandist who spreads blatant lies solely to harass Scientologists who accurately report about Tracy McManus. It is amazing that Scientology assigns staff members to harass any journalist that reports on Scientology. I'm pretty sure that ADL doesn't do that, but maybe you guys can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. Okay, propaganda. Dehumanization is the oldest propaganda technique in the book. It is aimed at inspiring the hatred necessary to hurt the enemy more easily. That is what you are engaged in. Damn you, Miss McManus. Any protestation by you that you have no intention of hurting the church and its parishioners is belied by the facts. You are part of the secret members-only hate group, Outer Banks. Guys, that's a Facebook group. It's a Facebook group with like 1,000 former Scientologists, former staff members. I think one of the things that makes the Outer Banks Facebook group different from, say, the supporters of Leah Remini Facebook group is I'm pretty sure the Outer Banks doesn't have anyone in it who has never been a Scientologist. Anyway, it's literally just a Facebook group of former Scientologists. And they I think Tracy McManus is in that group because as a journalist, she wants to be able to see what former Scientologists are saying if there's anything newsworthy. By the way, Tracy McManus is specifically assigned by the Tampa Bay Times to report on Scientology. It's not like it's just her hobby or something. Okay, moving on. The anti-Scientologists you repeatedly associate with on Outer Banks have incited hundreds of threats and actual acts of violence against the church and individual Scientologists. I mean, this is just hysteria. None of this is true. It is for that very reason that Stand exists, to put an end to the kind of hate you and your fellow anti-Scientologists spew. God, it's funny that they try to say you and your fellow anti-Scientologists. Tracy McManus is a journalist who works at the Tampa Bay Times. I mean, anyway, this stuff isn't really supposed to make sense. It's honestly just supposed to make Tracy McManus worry about her job. But the Tampa Bay Times are the ones who literally assigned Tracy McManus to write about Scientology. Sending the Tampa Bay Times angry letters about Tracy McManus just reinforces the very reason why the Tampa Bay Times assigned a journalist to report on Scientology. Oh, these guys really are twats. Okay, conclusion. This is yet another example of your attempts to torpedo all efforts by the church and the city to have friendly relations and work together for the betterment of all of Clearwater. Oh my God, the irony. The Times will be hearing from counsel regarding your defamatory statements. Guys, everyone understands that the defamatory statements being referred to here are simply that the Stand League is a front group for Scientology and its 60,000 followers are mostly bots and trolls. By the way, Tracy didn't say the people who work at Stand League are mostly bots and trolls, although they are. What she said was that the 60,000 followers are mostly bots and trolls, a demonstrable fact. Okay, the Times will be hearing from counsel regarding your defamatory statements. Correct these false statements you made to the city regarding Stand. It's not even a statement about Scientology. It's a statement about their stupid little front group and their ridiculous Twitter account that gets like 16 views per tweet, even though they supposedly have like 60,000 followers. It's absolutely incredible. Now, this is how you know it's just the ramblings and the hysterical blubbering of David Miscavige. This is such a completely ineffective way of dealing with the media. Their response becomes another story itself. And yet there's nothing else they can do. This sort of crazy behavior is what happens when you have a tiny little tyrannical leader like David Miscavige running around just screaming, what are you guys doing? You never do anything to defend me. You love that they're attacking me. You're all trying to take me down. And so these guys have to run around and do these things to make Miscavige a little less angry that day. It really is pathetic. And doesn't it just give you even more interest than you might have already had? I mean, maybe before you had zero interest, but now aren't you dying to know what story Tracy McManus is about to publish that has Scientology so freaked out? Because that's what's happening. Tracy's working on a big story, and Scientology, they're trying to do preemptive damage control here. They're trying to put something on the record that Tracy is just a Scientology hating bigot working in cahoots with other anti-Scientologists like me and Mike Rinder and Mark Headley and all that good stuff. So anyway, just pure incompetence from a public relations media perspective. But, I mean, that's what we come to expect from these guys. When it comes to dealing with the media, it's just pure incompetence. Anybody over there who had any skill whatsoever as a spokesperson, as like a talking head in the press, left many years ago. That Scientology is so lacking talent in the media department. They don't have a single one of their members that they're willing to have appear on camera. They send their attorney, their non-Scientologist Catholic attorney, Monique Yingling, to speak on behalf of Scientology. It's the weirdest thing ever. Okay, let's see. Let's do some super chats here, guys. Valerie Boljack. Valerie, always good to see you in the chat. Welcome back home, Aaron and all your family of choice. Yes, thank you very much. We were on that boat for an entire week. I'm not sure I've done a 7-day cruise before. We've done a bunch of cruises with the kids, but never 7 days. And honestly, 3 days is about as much as I need. Anything else, anything beyond 3 days is a little much. Thank you, Valerie. Much appreciated. Ben Love, missed the Content Kings. Welcome back, SPTV. Yes, it was pretty rough having all of us, me and Mark and Claire and Mike, all gone at the same time. And we thought we were going to be able to maybe do some uploads or some streams while we were there. The internet was pretty fast on the download side, but on the upload side, it was horrific. There was no way we could stream. Thank you, Ben. Always good to see you. Okay, Maxwell Edison's mom. I asked this of Apostate Alex, so asking you as well. What's your take on LRH, and the whole Anton LaVey connection? Well, Maxwell Edison's mom, I wish I could give you a better answer. I have never heard of Anton LaVey, so I do not have an opinion about that. Usually people are asking about L. Ron Hubbard and Jack Parsons or Aleister Crowley. I have quite literally never heard of Anton LaVey, so apologies for that. Yeah, I just never heard of him. Sorry. Okay, next one. Kitty Mom, glad you're all back safe and sound and had a nice vacation. Thank you very much, Kitty Mom. I'm very glad to be back. And home is always where I would rather be. Much more comfortable at home. All right, let's see. We got another one here. Scott Davidson. Does Stan have anything to say about the religious liberty of Steve Hall and David Mayo? Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, nobody can even take Scientology seriously when it talks about religious freedom. Religious freedom. Look how they viciously attack anyone who tries to get free of their religion, their so-called religion. So they don't believe in freedom of religion. They just they try to push all the right religious buttons that they think are going to get other multi-faith organizations to go to bat for them. They try to push these buttons so that religious judges and legislators who have kind of made a name for themselves defending religious liberty will feel compelled to go to bat for Scientology. And the fact is, to some degree, it actually works. To some degree, that strategy has worked for Scientology, but that's why they do that. Thank you, Scott. Okay, Leanne Peterson. Why does the Scientology logo have a cross on it? Is it to make people believe it's a church and not a cult? Well, Leanne, thank you for the question. The answer is that is 100% the reason that they do it. There is no part of the Scientology belief system that justifies using a cross or that would explain using the cross specifically. Now, it's an 8-pointed cross. And Scientology goes, well, the 8 points on the cross represent Scientology's 8 dynamics. And you go, well, okay. Linking the cross to the 8 dynamics doesn't explain why it's a cross. It just explains why you gave it 8 points. You could have done an 8 anything. You could have just done the number 8. But they use the cross to make people think that it has something to do with the Christian faith. It's really weird. It's creepy. Okay, hold on. Joe Birchfield, what are we doing here? Good or bad idea? Bring a Bluetooth speaker, blasting OT3 materials into the orgs and museums. If that was executed in a particular way, that might actually be a good idea. So first of all, I would recommend not, when you say blasting it, I would make it loud enough to be heard, but not too loud to be unpleasant. And blasting the OT3 materials, it would have to be, I think the OT3 materials are handwritten by L. Ron Hubbard on a book. It's in his handwriting. I don't think he did a lecture. I could be wrong about that. If there is an actual lecture where Hubbard is talking about Xenu and the body thetans and the volcanoes, then playing that at a volume that can be heard but is not unpleasant would actually be kind of effective, depending on what you were trying to accomplish. I wish I could say for sure whether there was a lecture, but I can't. It would take me 5 seconds to Google it, but I'm not going to do that right now. So I hope that helps, Joe. Thank you for that. Tawny TB. I can't believe how much I missed the content you guys provide. If you decide to travel together in the future, maybe keep it to long weekends. Thank you, Tawny. Yes, and I would definitely in the future have a little bit more discipline ahead of time to pre-record a bunch of stuff so I could have things ready to upload even though we're out of town. Thank you, Tawny. I appreciate it. Okay, let's see. IDK James, which I would normally think means I don't know James. I have one of the oldest accounts on YouTube. Really? Your channel is one of the best. Is Scientology doing anything to counteract all the bad press? Well, when you say counteract, they respond to bad press by attacking the people involved. Scientology has actually really gone heavy recently on republishing all of the defamatory and slanderous and BS videos about me and Mark and Claire and Mike. They've redone the websites. They've updated the websites. I'm actually going to do a series of videos reviewing the videos they've been posting on my website. I figured if they're going to go through the trouble of producing all these videos, I might as well make money off of them. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. So, I mean, that's something when you say bad press, part of what I think of when you say that is, all the videos that me and Mark and Claire and Mike have been doing. Mark's got this series of videos that he's done on his channel. By the way, that's Mark Headley. The channel is called Blown for Good. And he's got a series of videos called the OSA Files. He's been releasing all of these leaked documents from the Office of Special Affairs. And Scientology's just been going absolutely nuts. Scientology sent a very slanderous letter to every single client that Mark had featured on his business website. Mark's got a company where he does high-end AV installations for museums all over the world. And on one of the pages of his website, he's got a list of a bunch of the museums that he's done and the companies. Some of these museums are like, owned by companies and stuff. And they sent a letter to every single one of his past clients trying to get them to ask Mark to take their name off of the website. Not a single person asked Mark to remove their name from his site. And he's actually gotten repeat business from some of the clients that Scientology sent letters to specifically because of the letter Scientology sent to them. So yeah, that's some of what they're doing to counteract all the bad press. Thank you, James. I appreciate that very much. Let me see. Oh, another one from James. Did you get OT8 on your cruise? If not, a loss. LMAO. If by OT8 you mean I gained at least 8 pounds during the cruise, then yes, I definitely did get my OT8. Thank you, James. Stephanie Gould, thank you for the super sticker. And Indreju, wait, how do I say this? Indreju plans to destroy Vault after Cult dies. That would be, I have no plans to destroy those vaults. You are referring to, of course, the many secret underground nuclear bomb-proof vaults that Scientology has created. There's really maybe only 3 or 4 of them. I always forget the exact number. And in these vaults are stored nearly indestructible versions of L. Ron Hubbard's written works and recorded lectures. And those vaults are specifically there so that once we're all wiped out, or most of us are wiped out through nuclear war, whoever's left in the post-apocalyptic civilization will be able to rediscover L. Ron Hubbard's works. And while they're busy hunting and gathering to survive, they will crowd around the bonfire late at night to listen to an L. Ron Hubbard lecture on a solar-powered record player. It's so ridiculous. It's such a silly use of money. Yeah, you know, whoever finds those vaults thousands of years from now, I hope there's at least some food in the vaults, because nobody's going to give a damn about the books and the lectures. Thank you, Indreju. All right, let's see. Oh, Maxwell Edison's mom. Sorry, I meant Aleister Crowley. Okay, so you did mean Aleister Crowley. Now I forget what your specific question was. So Hubbard openly talks about his relationship with Jack Parsons in many of the Scientology lectures. Remember, Hubbard never met Aleister Crowley. Parsons was a student of Crowley's, and Hubbard was a friend of Parsons. Yeah, Hubbard was never shy about that. Hubbard sort of kind of said, you know, in order to know man, you know, to know the human and the human condition, you have to rub elbows with all types of characters. So even if Hubbard, and there's other versions of the story that Hubbard tells, like the government sent Hubbard in as a secret agent to destroy this, you know, to break up this magic cult and all sorts of weird stories. I don't have many more thoughts other than that, but it's not something that like Scientology or L. Ron Hubbard even shies away from, really, that whole period of Hubbard's life. It wasn't even a very long period. But eventually Hubbard stole Jack, is it Jack Parsons? Yeah. Eventually Hubbard stole his boat and his girlfriend. And that was really all Hubbard was really doing there. Yep. He stole his boat and his girlfriend. So not a very good friend, that Hubbard character. All right. Clearwater Chad says, welcome back, AA Ron. Well, thank you, Clearwater Chad. I hope the weather is nice up there in Buffalo. Okay. Let me see. What do we have here? Care for JC YouTube. All right. Would that be copyright infringe? I do not know what you're referring to. And so I cannot answer your question. I apologize for that. Okay, let's see. We have another one here. Jalen Rask. I'm shocked at how much the higher officials in Scientology swear so much. You don't see that in other churches, really. Does Scientology care about how swearing is perceived in public? Thank you for the question. It's a great point. It's not only the Scientology higher-ups that swear so much. It's everybody in the Sea Org and on staff. It's really part of the culture. I can't even say that I really understand where it came from. I don't believe L. Ron Hubbard himself was really big on swearing. I should ask Mike Rinder that. Somebody remember to ask on the next Mondays with Mike and Mark that we'll be doing this Monday. Please, somebody remember to ask Mike, did L. Ron Hubbard swear so prolifically? Is that where Scientologists got it from? Or was it just life on the ship, on the boat? I don't know where it came from, guys. I really don't. But I don't think Scientologists have any idea how that type of swearing is perceived by the public. I think they believe it is just as normal in the real world as it is in the Scientology bubble. And in some circles, it is just as normal. But those circles are not all of society. It's one of the reasons I've stopped swearing. One, I don't want YouTube to ding my videos. And two, people in the comments are just really offended at how much I used to swear on this channel. So I stopped, and it has caused me to stop swearing so much in real life, actually. So there you go. Thank you for that, Jalen. Oh, I see. Kathy W. The late Anton LaVey wrote the Satanic Bible, released in 1969. He lived in San Francisco. I get it. Okay, now I will say, Aleister Crowley was not involved in Satanism. Actually, I could be wrong. I'm not going to comment on it because I could be wrong. People always tell me that no, Aleister Crowley called himself the Beast, didn't he? I think people keep to whenever the subject of, because Scientology recently came up in a poll as tying with Satanism for the worst reputation of any religious organization or belief system. And every time I mention something about Satanism or whatever, I get comments about that people don't understand Satanism doesn't have to do with Satan and all this stuff. I don't know. It's very confusing and I don't particularly care, but I'll withhold comment because anything I have to say on this is just some shit I read in the comments. So I will refrain. Thank you, Kathy. Lydia Von Stretchclaw. Lydia, always good to see you. Welcome back. You were missed. Any chance we can have a whip round to get RTC to make Tom Cruise an Oscar? A whip round? I don't know what that means. Any chance we can have a whip round to get RTC to make Tom Cruise an Oscar? Yeah, I don't know what a whip round is, but I wouldn't be surprised if Tom, like if David Miscavige sent Tom Cruise like a replica of an Oscar and said, "You're always a winner to me, Tom." Thank you, Lydia. Okay, Lori says, well, heck, I was watching tiny house videos and didn't even know you were live. Welcome home. You were missed. Well, thank you very much, Lori. Hey, I like a good tiny house video as much as anyone else. I didn't mean to interrupt your tiny house videos, but thank you for watching. Always good to see you in the chat. And thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Kitty Mom, how long have you been home? Did you immediately start streaming? Well, it was a 5-hour drive from Miami. It should have only been a 4-hour drive, but traffic was absolutely horrible. It was a 5-hour drive from Miami. We left at 9 o'clock. We got home at 2 p.m. and I unpacked, I did laundry, I showered, I did some chores. And so, no, I didn't immediately start streaming, but close enough. Thank you. Thank you, Kitty Mom. All right, here we go, Julie. I have a new policy. Every time I find out about Scientology, fair gaming you or your fellow YouTube channelers, I'm giving a donation to you or the Aftermath Foundation, etc., who's with me. Well, that sounds like a good policy to me, Julie. That sounds like a great policy. And I think you'll be hearing a lot more about that over the next several weeks. Thank you, Julie. I appreciate it. All right, let's see. Care for Juicy Tube. I just don't know the right way to say this. Okay. Sorry. Would using their videos on hate sites be copyright infringement? Oh, so no, it's not copyright infringement. I'm saying this as someone who's not a lawyer, just a layman. What do I know, guys? I grew up in a cult, but they're not selling a product. It's not a commercial product. You're not taking something that is commercial and using it. Plus, even if there was a copyright, I mean, their videos are just interviewing people who knew me, just talking smack about me. So, but even if it was a copyrighted, protected thing, there's fair use. There's fair use. Doing commentary on something is fair use. And that's how I've been able to do videos, even on the South Park Scientology episode. First, the algorithm says, oh my God, this is copyright infringement. And then I file an appeal and I say, no, this is fair use and And then it takes them a few weeks, sometimes as many days as 30 days. And they review it and they go, yes, you're right. This is fair use. So no, it's not copyright infringement, but thank you for clarifying that. I do appreciate it. Okay, I think we're getting to the end here. Oh, another one from James. Gosh darn it, James. You're a prolific super chatter tonight. Sorry, I was flexing my non-YouTube status, but been around a while. I'm just wondering, with my daughter, how do you explain disconnection? You've probably covered this. Oh, I mean, with our kids, we've explained disconnection as just Scientology tells its members that they're not allowed to talk to people who've not in Scientology anymore. Like, It's just plain and simple. No reason to try to describe it as anything other than exactly what it is. So like my 3 daughters know that Scientology is the reason that their grandmother and grandfather is not allowed to talk to them. The reason their aunts and uncle and cousins are not allowed to talk to them. We just say, yeah, it's because of Scientology. They're Scientologists, and Scientology says you can't talk to your granddaughters anymore. And they go, gee, that's a shame, but okay. You know, we just tell it like it is, not trying to spare anyone's reputation or anything like that. Thank you, James. Okay, Lydia, Claire. In the UK, a whip round is a collection. Oh, I get it. I guess, Lydia, the only thing I didn't understand is why would we take up a collection for David Miscavige to make Tom Cruise an Oscar? Unless I misunderstood your question. That's the part that got me a little confused. I did suspect that that's what you meant, though. But thank you for clarifying. Okay, here we go. We got another one here. Rock It Out with Kim D. Hey, welcome back. Cold and snowing in Hibbing, Minnesota. Well, I'm jealous. I've had enough sun for more than one lifetime. I could use some cold and some snow. And apparently the weather down here in Clearwater, Florida was pretty darn chilly, down in the 50s even while I was gone. But it's in the mid 70s today and humid. So yes, enjoy that snow. I'm sure you guys are sick and tired of it, but thank you for the super chat. Okay, Nerf Gun Holly. Re-blasting OT3. LRH recordings can be used to create an AI voice, which could then read the text out loud. That is brilliant. That is genius. Oh my God. If anybody uses AI to have L. Ron Hubbard read aloud the OT3 materials, please send it to me. I will play it on my channel. I'll turn that into a video. That is a glorious, glorious thing. Thank you, Nerf Gun Holly. All right, let's see. Jay Dice. We missed you. Soothe us with how much you were jonesing for us, please. Sorry if I missed it in the beginning. Yeah, I was, it's funny. Even though I didn't publish very much while I was gone, I did actually spend a lot of time editing videos that I still didn't get around to publishing. I have a great interview that I did with this person right here, actually. Here. I have a fantastic interview that I did with Janice Gillum Grady, who wrote, this is book 2, Commodore's Messenger. She's written, 1, 2, and I think she's still working on her 3rd. Anyway, we have Janice Grady worked personally for L. Ron Hubbard from the age of 12. And she has stories that are just absolutely amazing. We did a fantastic 1-hour interview, and it was an in-person interview. Actually, we were both sitting here side by side. Spent a whole bunch of time editing that. Still didn't finish editing so that I could upload it. So yeah, I was jonesing big time, Jay Dice, big time. Thank you for that super chat. Okay, Lena 1. I've been so bored. Don't ever leave us again. Well, I never will. I never will. That is a promise. Thank you, Lena. All right, we have Epsington. Just wanted to say, good to have you back. Thank you, Epsington. I appreciate it. It is good to be back. Scott Davidson, did you know Ken Auger? Was his death suspicious? I don't know. I thought you were going to say Ogden, and the name Ogden would be more familiar, and I still wouldn't be able to remember exactly who that person was. But no, I do not know who Ken Auger is. Sorry, Scott. Fifi Tinkerbell, super sticker. Thank you, Fifi. All right, everybody, that's what we've got. I have some more things I want to do, some more videos I want to do tonight. I'm not totally sure that I'll get to them, but I am going to try. So stay tuned. Click that little notification bell if you want to get notifications when I go live. Hey, guys, you might want to double check and make sure you're subscribed. I actually get messages from people who've been subscribed for a long time, and they go, I just checked, and somehow YouTube unsubscribed me from your channel. And sometimes that's why people aren't getting notifications. So just worth checking out. All right, everybody, thank you for hanging in there and watching with me until the very end, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not, subscribe right here. Bye.